What up? This is Rama Screen, and in anticipation of the new anthology new series Just Beyond, arriving October 13 on Disney Plus, I'm here talking with executive producer and writer Seth Grahame-Smith and the author of Just Beyond, R.L. Stine. How are you both this morning?
Terrific.
Great.
Good. Mr. Stine, let me start with you. It's such an honor. Big fan of yours. Disney
you.
Plus is a fairly new platform for a few years now. In your opinion, what makes Disney Plus specifically a perfect fit or a perfect home for Just Beyond adaptation, and why is now the right timing for this adaptation to arrive?
Listen, you're talking to the world's biggest Disney fan. My son, when he was young, was so spoiled. We live in New York, and Matt and I used to go down to Disney World at least 3 times a year. I really have always been a Disney fanatic. And back in the day, we actually had our own Goosebumps attraction at Disney World. We had Goosebumps Horrorland. It was the thrill of my life to have an excuse to go down there. I had my own land. Can you imagine? So I'm thrilled to be back with Disney. I'm just so happy about it.
I'm sure you've watched the episode. So do you like what you're seeing? What do you think of it?
Yeah, I love them. They're perfect. And again, they're good for Disney because they're for the whole family. They're basically what I do. They're not too scary. They're tricky. There are a lot of twists and surprises. You can't predict them. And it's all kinds of stories, which I really like.
Thank you, sir. And Seth, big fan of Abraham Lincoln, by the way, Vampire Hunter. Just want to put it out there. Seth, in your process of adapting R.L. Stine's work, Just Beyond, what were some of the tweaks or the changes that you may have had to make? I know that the tone has to be, of course, spooky but fun, scary but adventurous. How do you strike that balance?
Well, I don't know that we tweaked the tone. We just tried to, imitate the tone that's in the graphic novels and in a lot of R.L.'s work. And the way that we did it was I gathered a great young group of writers and asked them what were the things that were scary to you when or challenging to you or strange to you when you were 13 or 14 or 15. And they started to talk about anxieties and insecurities, and that's where the stories came from. They came from us trying to tell in mysterious or fantastic or spooky ways the things that we all kind of know and experience in childhood. And the fun of it was trying to make it entertaining for a family to watch together, just like families used to be able to watch shows like The Twilight Zone or Amazing Stories together. That was the fun and that was the challenge.
Seth, to follow up on that, you're an author yourself. Can you share a few words as to why you think R.L. Stine's books are so beloved, so timeless, and so iconic? From your perspective, what is it about Fear Street, Goosebumps, Just Beyond that makes them such an excellent storytelling trove?
Well, I mean, the first thing, they're well done. There's a lot of people that write books for younger readers that aren't, frankly, as good at it as R.L. Stine is, or as inventive. So that's number one. Number two, for my kids, when they discovered Goosebumps, it was like their minds were blown that there was somebody who was writing these kinds of stories for them, right? But not talking down to them, not patronizing them, actually, treating them like serious stories for serious readers. And I think that's why they've endured, is because generation after generation, you have new kids discovering, oh, wow, like I can read something scary, but, I know that I'm not going to get thrown off the cliff into something that's too scary or too intense. It's a great bridge to, the reading that they're going to do for the rest of their lives.
You, Mr. Stine, I'm sure you've gotten this 1,000 times, but I'm going to ask you this anyway. For aspiring writers, aspiring authors, working sweat and tears, trying to get their first novel, trying to get published, what would be your monumental advice for them?
My monumental advice. No one's ever asked that. I never give advice to young writers because I think they're like me. They know they want to be writers. They write all the time. They don't need anyone to tell them, write something every day. They don't need anyone to say, read a lot. They're already doing it and they don't need to hear it. The only advice I ever say is have fun with it. I hate when authors are on a panel or something and they talk about how writing is such hard work. Writing is hard work. I have to send my kids into the garage so I can concentrate. I have to do this. It's so hard. And I think there's nothing hard about it. It's fun. If you go into it thinking it's hard work, you're going to have a lot of trouble. But if you go in and say, look, this is great. I'm creating a world. I'm making up characters. I'm having fun here. Then I think you're going to do a lot better with your writing.
All right. Just Beyond, premiering October 13 on Disney+. Seth and R.L. Stine, thank you for talking to me and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.